Should or shouldn't you use a Filipina dating site? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. If you're a guy who has not dated in 10 years, it's very likely you're going to get eaten alive there on the dating sites. If you are at what we call, like the rebound stage from a relationship that really just messed you up, just really emotionally tore you down, you need to get past that. Right now is not the time to go chatting up some pretty Filipina who's going to make you feel better. Because she could be tossing out red flags one right after another. It could be so obvious that you're getting, led astray. You won't see it because the emotional need is going to have you pretty much like a dog in the deli shop. I mean, you're going to be hungry for what she's putting out, and you'll end up doing anything it takes to keep it. And that's where these scammers on the dating sites, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for a guy who hasn't really any confidence, self-control, emotionally vulnerable. That's their meat and potatoes. These are the guys, again, that get eaten up alive there on the dating sites. Now, a question that I've been asked plenty of times is, what about the scammers? Are there many scammers? How many scammers are there? Well, every dating site is different. Some dating sites try to verify their members to a point. If they're doing that, they're usually, again, that's more work for them. So they're usually going to offer that in their pay version. And a lot of guys just want the world for free. They want, just a long list of great women who aren't going to screw them over, but they want it for free. The dating sites don't work that way. I'll mention one. It's called Date in Asia. It's free. So before you go running over there, it's free, but that means that every scammer that has been banned and blocked from every other Filipina dating site is probably there. Because over there, you just create a new email account and bingo, you got another account. So free ones, you get what you pay for. There is no special website that has nothing but good Filipinas. It doesn't exist. I mean, there's no way you can know the hidden motives of a person, especially when you're dealing with tens, even hundreds of thousands of people. Finding the right woman is a matter of finding a woman that fits into your plans. Because the other way that a lot of guys do things is they don't even think about what they want, and then they meet a woman who, say, for instance, has 2-3 kids. Well, you can kind of already figure what she wants. She wants stability. She wants to get married, get a home, take care of her kids, stay in one place. So if you're the kind of guy that wants to travel around and you don't realize that until you're deep into this relationship and you're like, whoa, you're going to start feeling like the walls are closing in. So before you get involved with a Filipina or go looking for one, know where you're at. Be on solid ground. Know what you're doing. Know what you want to do in the future. Once travel opens up, okay, I want to travel, or I want to do this, I want to do that. I don't want a woman who has a job because I want her to go with me to all these different places. Know what you want so you'll know it when you see it. Now, the second part of this is self-control. Again, you got to be honest with yourself and evaluate on, let's just say, level of 1 to 10, 10 being best. How much self-control do you have? You don't want to have so much self-control that you're sociopathic and unfeeling to other people, but you also don't want to be a bleeding heart who's going to easily fall in love with the first Filipina that gives you some attention. You don't want to be that guy either. You want to be somewhere kind of in the middle or a little above, and especially when it comes to dating sites, because you're going to need that self-control. One way that you're going to have to exercise this is, as you're on the dating site, you're going to hit favorites and you're going to have PMs, messages with Filipinas, and you're going to be like checking out, what's available. You know nothing about any of these women. You got to talk to all of them, or at least a portion, to decide, which ones you're going to really invest some time into. And during this process, you will come across the red flags. Again, they might say, send me some money, or some of them, even unsolicited, they'll say, let's get off of the dating site, let's go over to Messenger, let's go over to MeWe, or whatever, whatever other thing they're using. The reason they do that is because they don't want to get their account blocked for sending you, nude photos or whatever, and then they say, oh, now that I sent you these photos, why don't you help me with $200-300 or whatever they're asking. So what they'll do is they try to get you over to Facebook or WeChat or some other medium, and then they'll conduct that there. So when it comes to your self-control, what you're going to need to do is when you see this, don't fall for it. Don't get suckered in down this road. Just block them. Don't get into a conversation with them. You don't need their permission to block them. Just block them and move on. You need that self-control. Because if you don't have self-control, what's going to happen is they're going to start doing these stupid red flag type of activities, and you're going to get swayed. You're going to tell yourself, oh, but she's so pretty. Maybe I can work this out. Maybe I can outsmart her. Maybe I can this. You're playing with fire. If you're going to do this, do it smart. When you start running into the signs of a scammer, again, these red flags, just block her. Block her so that you don't even, when you do another search a week later, if she has changed her picture profile, you might end up wasting time with her a second time if you don't block her. So completely block her so that the next time you do a search result, your numbers should start getting smaller and smaller. Because, and don't worry, I mean, when you're talking about a Filipina dating site, you're going to have like hundreds. I'm not kidding. I mean, if you haven't gone there, you'll be very much surprised. And those of you who have gone on the dating sites know what I'm talking about. Don't be afraid to cut away, the chaff from the wheat. If they're flaky, if they're just weird, or if they won't do video, we're not talking about anything salacious. I'm just saying you need to verify that you're really talking in video with the person that's in those photos. Because again, another red flag of a scammer is they got all these really great photos and everything, and then they say, oh, I have bad internet, I don't have money for video call, whatever. They come up with a pretty good reason why they will never do video chat with you, and you don't even know if you're talking to a guy. You don't know who you're talking to because it's all text. Again, all these different red flags, when you start seeing them, you need to have self-control to be able to say, you know what, I don't care how pretty they are, I don't care how promising this looks, they're showing the signs of a scammer, blocked. Done. There's plenty others to look at, because remember what you're looking for. You're looking for maybe the 10-15% that are on the dating sites who are sincere about wanting a relationship. You're looking for the 10-15%. So if you go in a week and you look at 100 profiles, let's just say, and you chat with them throughout the week, each one, hello, hi, whatever, don't be surprised if out of that 100, you end up blocking 80 of them. Or if you've only talked to 50, don't be surprised if you end up blocking 40 of them. And you've only got 10 that are still questionable. Okay? That's how much self-control you're going to need to have. Because so many guys, I mean, I wish I could sit next to the guy as he's looking at his, choices and help him. Okay, just block this one, block this one, block this one. Instead, no, what do? Again, they get sucked in. They're like, wow, that's a pretty face. She looks cute. She's getting her bikini. I want to get a hold of that. And so they ignore the red flags, and then they get sucked in further and further and further until, again, they've already lost a bunch of money, and she's like, okay, you're not going to send any more money? Bye, thanks for playing. So you don't want to end up like that. So you're going to need, in addition to having your feet on the ground solid and knowing who you are, knowing where you're going to go, what you're going to do in life, in addition to that, you're going to have to exercise self-control. When you see red flags, drop them, block them. You will start talking to a Filipina, and at first it goes through different stages. And how fast it goes, varies. But it goes through certain stages. At first, it's just the superficial introductions. What's your name? I mean, because they might have a fake name up there, a moniker. They may call themselves Jolly Bee Girl 25 or whatever. But the first thing you want to ask is at least tell me your real first name. And so you get through the initial introductions. Where are you living currently? That's another good question to ask. They might put they might say, in their dating profile, it might say Davao, but ask them anyway, are you currently living in Davao? Because they might have put that because they live in some tiny little province out in the middle of nowhere, and they know nobody's going to search for girls in that area nobody knows the name of. So they put the nearest city, because of course Davao's a bigger city. It could be Cebu, Manila, and they live nowhere near Cebu or Manila. It's just that they know that they're going to get a better chance of being found, their profile, if guys are searching for women in Cebu or Manila. So ask them if they really are living where they say they are. So you got this first stage where you're just getting through introductions. Then you get into the second stage, which is each person asking the other, well, what are you looking for? I know I read your profile, but what are you looking for? And that's where the stuff starts coming out. Well, I'm looking for a woman who walks on the beach at sunset. And then she says, I'm that kind of girl. And, that's what I love doing. And it's like, I love country western line dancing. Oh, me too. I always wanted to learn that, So you get into that second stage of trading back and forth what it is you're looking for. And then you get to this third stage, and this can happen quickly. It's when she types this thing out. It's usually the Filipina who does it. And then she types out that, say you're getting ready, I got to go to bed, good night, bye, okay, see you later. And then she types out, I love you. Do not, I repeat, do not respond with, I love you too. The second you do that, you're screwed. Okay, do not do that. Leave it blank, just log off, but do not answer that with, the equal response. Because now you've just committed to being her boyfriend in her mind. And she's going to treat you like that. And then she's going to start asking, are you talking to other girls? How come I couldn't reach you? How come this? How come that? Okay, you're going to start getting sucked in to this exclusivity if you go down that path. So the next time you talk, again, you didn't respond. She said, I love you, and you just logged off. And the next time she responds, she's like, oh, well, do you love me too? I told her I love you. Do you love me too? I love you so much. Do you love me too? That's when you're going to have to make it clear to her. I believe I can really not fall in love with someone until I have spent time with them. Because that's the bare bones reality. Yes, you can allow your feelings to run away, and unfortunately, this is a huge mistake. Guys will, and women too, guys will talk to a Filipina, and if you're just chatting on video and sending messages, you've never met them in person, you're seeing 2% of their life. You really don't know what they're like when they're tired, when they're bored, when they're stressed out. You don't even know if she's really married or not. You don't know if she even has kids or not. You don't know if she's telling the truth. You don't know. There's a lot you don't know. There's 98% of her life going on that you really don't know. Remember, she's only going to tell you the good stuff. She's not going to bring up a lot of the really wacky drama that goes on in her life. And everybody does that, you yourself, you may not tell her, well, you just got paroled, 6 years ago, and you're kind of on 2 strikes, and, you're not going to bring that up. You figure, you'll tell her after you get married or something. So remember, keep that in mind. Your emotions can run away with you. And you can say, I'm just convinced. I love her. I just know she's my soulmate. She's the one I'm meant to be with. And as soon as I get to the Philippines, I'm going to marry her. Yeah, you can do that, but you're doing it based on a image of who she is. And all those blank spaces that you don't know about her, you've already filled it all in. You've already kind of applied the spackle and the bondo and everything you don't know. You just figure it's all rainbows and unicorns because the little bit she did tell you is really, really promising. So do not do that. Do not, and again, right back to being emotionally stable. Do not fall in love and let your emotions get the better of you, all because she said, I love you, you're my boyfriend, I'm your girlfriend now, right? Because as soon as you agree to that, you're done. You may as well just block her at that point. You've got to make it clear to her, Hey, I really enjoy talking to you. I want to continue chatting with you. But I am not going to consider myself in a relationship until I get to the Philippines and we can actually spend time together, and at the right time, I will know I'm ready to begin a relationship. But right now, online, being thousands of miles apart, I'm not committing to that. And you shouldn't. You should not commit to this kind of exclusive relationship. The ones who are sincere will take a wait and see. Okay, I'll wait till he gets here and then I'll win him over. The good ones will take that approach. The ones that are just after you for money or some self-interest, they're going to be like, oh, okay, this guy's too smart for me. This guy's, I'm looking for a guy who's stupid enough to just fall head over heels in love with me so that he'll start sending me money and doing what I tell him to do. You've got to exercise this bit of self-control and have this line in the sand, and do not step over it, okay? Stay on this side of, hey, we are great video pen pals. I love talking to you, but no, you're not my girlfriend. No, I'm not your boyfriend. No, we're not engaged. I hope to see you when I get there, and we'll see how it goes. You've got to stay on that side of the line. Do not cross the line and go into, I love you too, because then you're toast. Do not get sucked into being exclusive. Don't do it. Don't let them trap you into a binding relationship when you haven't even held her hand yet. You haven't even stood 2 feet in front of her. Do not let that happen.